Good morning, everybody. It's 4 a.m. Well, actually, almost 5 a.m. right here on JJ's PC Builds. I know I want to say good morning to everybody. Just get that out of the way. And if this is your first time watching this video, make sure you subscribe. We're working towards 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So it would help out the channel tremendously and help us get monetized if you subscribe. And put some likes, or if you like the video, put some likes on it. Positive likes would be most appreciated. And also too, with the watch hours, if you watch each video from beginning to end and you watch them at least, I have over 100 plus videos, you watch them at least one time, would help the channel. So, and if you're a repeat offender, well, welcome. And don't forget to get your soda and your snacks and sit back, or coffee and donuts, however you want to look at it. So the thing is this. I know I haven't did a video in quite a while on the Amd Adrenalin software. I think where I left off the last time was the 23.1.2. That was the last vid I did on the Amd Adrenalin software. So looking at my charts, we have 23.2.2. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 23.2.2, so this way we can catch up on some things. And also too, I know y'all were looking towards probably Thursday of a live video session. The thing is this, I postponed that. If you don't know this and you haven't watched my last video, I postponed it because not a lot of people were coming up and, joining in, It's basically, with live videos, a lot of people don't know about it or whatever the case is, and I kept advertising that I'm on Thursday, and telling everybody I'm on Thursday. So I postponed it until I see in the community, the subscribers, the family, to see if when the family has time, so we can start doing live weekly videos. I tried it on Thursday. It seems like Thursday wasn't working. So we're going to work on another time to do weekly videos. And I'm going to watch the numbers to see how many is going to be on during certain times and everything else. So this way we know for a fact the best time to do live streaming. But for now, we're just going to make the videos. And y'all just comment down below on this video if you want me to start, getting back into doing live videos. I want to see how many in the community wants me to do a live video compared to doing just regular normal videos like I've been doing. Let me know what you think. If you want me to do some live videos, then, let me know. We can go from there. Alright, down to the brass tacks. Let's go ahead and get some things opened up and see what's cracking this morning. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the action screen. Alrighty. Let's see. AMD. A 23.2.1. And let's go ahead and look and see what's going on with that. Okay, now going through the highlights of it. It looks like the 23.2.1 gives you Forspoken up to 7% increase in performance. and it complements the Radeon RX 6950 XT GPU. It looks like it's got a performance uplift for the 6950 XT. So that's a good thing if you got a 6950 XT. It's got an uplift. Dead Space, it's got an uplift there. And it's got a compiler open up for on Vulkan. So it's got, additional Vulkan extensions. Radeon 6000 series GPUs now have support for newly introduced streaming capabilities, including pre-filtered toggle, pre-analysis features, and camel technology. Wow, that sounds like it's pretty good. And, it's got a whole lot of up-tos and, gives you Spider-Man remastered, Sniper Elite 5, Shadow Tomb Raider, Quake 2, Hitman 3, Marvel Guardians, F1 2022, Doom Eternal, Borderlands, and Hogwarts Legacy. So, and also it boosts your performance with AMD software, reading the latest blog, newly unified drivers, performance gains since Windows 11 first launch. So it's kind of pre-focused itself more to Windows 11 than it did Windows 10. Now the thing is this, I am still on Windows 10. I haven't upgraded to Windows 11 yet because there's a certain little factors that, that tell me due to the gaming that I do, once I go up to Windows 11, it'll kind of, make it have a harder time with the gaming that I do. Okay. I'm not sure because the problem is this. Now, this is all DirectX that it affects. It doesn't affect OpenGL. Now, if it affects OpenGL, then that'll be a different story for a different day. But the thing is this, the main game I play, has OpenGL. So I still maintain the 4.6 OpenGL, so that's usually mainly where most of your graphics card now these days are sitting. They pretty much phased out from the older cards, which was 4.5. Now they're opened up to 4.6. Now, the thing is this. I'm not using a graphics card at this point in time, but I will be in the future. So y'all make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'll give you my analysis at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that as well. I'm just telling you the analogy as we go along through this whole thing. Okay. Now, it's fixed some issues. The writing failed with Windows 11. Poor performance loading time with Space Engine. Corruption with points in Shop and Steam with the Radeon 6000 GPUs. Now, you notice they're saying the 6000 GPUs. So keep that in mind. And when we get to the end, I'll tell you what I think. So, and it's got Fortnite, and YouTube playback enhanced sync, enabled on some AMD graphics, such as the 5700 XT. So basically what they're saying is that, there might be some performance drop on Fortnite if you're taking and doing the YouTube thing to where you're streaming live on YouTube. There might be a performance drop, but, it all depends on the system you have. So do keep that in mind, what graphics card you have, and, to see that performance drop. Corruption or game crash may be observed in Door Kickers 2. Um, Flickering textures on emergency 4. I'm just summarizing what they wrote. So if you want to read more about it, then you can go to look up the AMD, type in AMD 23.2.1, and you can go to the AMD site and look up the specifics to give you in-depth detail of what you're looking for. What they're given the description for. So this is just the 23.2.1. Okay, so, but all in all, it's still got its known issues, and so on and so on. But I'm only summarizing through this one because I'm going to roll it back. We're kind of behind in the times to where, this is where, the next upgrade I did and I left off. Okay, now we're going to move up down the road. We're going to take and we're going to go ahead and we're going to look up 23.2.2. So we're going to look up 23.2.2. I'm going to kind of catch everybody up from where I left off on the last video for AMD software, Adrenalin software. And we're going to move you up in the world, and we're going to compact everything we got here, through four, I would say 4 different upgrades into one. So basically I'm like 4 videos behind, but I'm going to compact everything into one video today. So this way you all can see how far you need to upgrade to the next. So we're going to go ahead and do the release notes for the 23.2.2. Okay, now it looks like it's got support for Atomic Heart and companies of Hero 3. So do remember, and I don't know why everybody keeps saying start factory fresh with new drivers and everything else. There's one thing that kind of drew a puzzlement to my mind, and I want y'all to keep this in mind. Okay, if you're putting in fresh factory drivers, and you're putting in fresh software, okay, what happens to the old updates when you go and move up in the world? Now, the thing is this, what about the previous updates and what corrections they were making on certain games, and you go to upgrade? Do those upgrades carry, from one to the next? Well, if you're putting all fresh and brand new every time you do it, a good question. Does the old updates follow along with the new drivers? That's the question that's in hand. Now, I want to hear y'all's answer on that. Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know the answer. The answer that you get from everybody else, so we can review it together, and that way the next time we do an AMD Adrenalin update, we can take and turn around and talk about it. So make sure you leave your comment on it. Let me know what you think. I'm thinking that the drivers do carry the old updates carry up to the new updates, and they combine. I think they're combining them and stepping them a little bit at a time. That's what I think they're doing. They're stepping them up. They're like archiving and stepping them up slowly but surely, all into one software. But don't quote me on it, so you never know. So instead of boring you all with, going through this, we're just going to take and go ahead and we're just going to step up to the latest one, which is 23.3.2. Okay? I'm not going to take you all and bore you to death through all the other ones, because pretty much you got the gist of how it's working. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and go ahead and just step it up and get right up to date. Is we're going to go to the 3.2, the 23.3.2. Okay, so because now the thing is this, they have a 23.2.2, which I've showed you before, and they have a 23.3.1. You can look in that too. They do have a 23.3.1. This is 23.3.2. Okay, let's get to let's get to the beef of this. Okay, looking at the highlights, support for Resident Evil 4 remake. Now, that's the thing about that is they had a demo on Resident Evil 4, which I was kind of, pissed off about. And I want y'all to understand why I'm pissed off about it. On Steam, they had a demo that you could run on your PC to, check your PC to see if it can handle. But guess what they did? They discontinued that demo. So now they want you to pay for it. So, if Steam's going to make you pay for everything, I'm not going to recommend Steam anymore. Even though that I play on Steam a game called Eve, which is a space game, I was always telling everybody, I get a solid 6 FPS and, it's really good gameplay and everything else. Even though that game is capped at 60 FPS, running integrated graphics, it does not budge off the 60 FPS no matter what I do in that game. So if you're thinking about building a system with like a B550 motherboard and using a Ryzen 7 5700G to play a game like that, it'll play it well. You put, the way I'm going to say it is there's tweaks that you can do inside of the BIOS that can upgrade your video for the integrated graphics up to the max. So you just got to look at the little tweaks that you can do inside of the BIOS. And overall, I do that with the 5600G as well. You can do as well. 5600G and 5700G, you can do both, mainly anything you want. It's got a lot of overclocking on the B550 motherboard. Depends on what motherboard you get. Always look for the best one that you can get for that cycle. Okay, everybody's telling me, oh no, you're best to use a graphics card and this and that and blah blah blah. Okay, when everybody's having all these issues with graphics cards and everything else, my integrated graphics still runs with no hesitation, no nothing. It keeps going and going and going. But to the factors of the new update of 23.3.2, it's got fixed issues. Application crashed may be observed while playing Uncharted, Legacy of Thieves collection on some AMD graphic products, such as Radeon RX 6700 XT. Now they're just using that as an example. Okay, so it could be a wide range. It could be a wide range with most of the AMD graphics hardware. It could be a wide range for the simple fact any one of their video cards that uses this driver or this software, it could happen. Now the older cards that can't use this software here, it's nothing to be worried about. So basically, when they end of life on drivers for those cards at that time, then that would be where you look up for the facts of the the, the highlights, the fixes, and unknown issues for that time. But this is up to date, and this is just moving us down the road in 2023, which is the 31st of 2023, March the 31st. So moving on down the road, it says application crash may be observed, means you're watching this happen, while playing Genshin Impact on some AMD graphics cards, such as the 6750 XT. Okay, corruption may be observed by playing It Takes Two on Radeon 7000 series GPUs. Connection failure or black screen may be observed using Parsec client with AMD decoder settings. Performance tuning stress tests may intermittently lower GPU usage before test completion. I had that problem with the 6500 XT where you go and you stress test it and it would drop. It would take and go all the way up and then just fall flat on its face. So do remind you that some of the softwares will do that. You know, especially the newer ones until they have a complete fix for it, and you know, they just handle it. Performance metrics overlay may be intermittently resized across the display on some AMD products such as 6600M. Okay, metrics overlay may have some missing units when enabled, or situationally be truncated after changing display scale settings. This comes back to where they're talking about the AMD and Adrenalin software, not the drivers. Now, don't get this wrong. This is the software. This is not the drivers. Okay, the drivers is a total separate animal to the software. The software complements the drivers. Understand that. But if you put the drivers only in, then the thing is this, the game will complement the video card and whatever you got going on to play that game. And this is the way I understood it back then, years ago, is if you put drivers only in, then whatever game you play, only the game will complement the drivers. That means whatever for the video side of it, the game makers pretty much have that set and locked. So it doesn't matter if you have the software on your computer or not. As long as you got the driver software. Now, program software is basically where you got the program on your computer. Driver software is where you got it built into the driver section for your computer. That control the driver software is the control for your computer. For your video card, that is the control side for Windows 10 or Windows 11 or however you want to look at it. But program software is different than driver software. Now, just get that. They're two separate animals. You can take and put driver software in without program software. Okay. And I use drivers only now for the simple fact that I hear there's been some crashing, Windows being erased and stuff like that. That's usually program software. That's what's causing most of your problems. Driver software is different to where it just controls the hardware. It's hardware to software. Hardware to driver software. Okay. Now, with these games, these DirectX games, basically all these DirectX games have their own settings. And hear my words, they have their own settings. The way they design the new games Some of the mid games, it's just the way before games didn't really have that kind of, control, but they had some control. But the thing is this: these new games have all control of your graphics cards. So for you to use the AMD Adrenalin software is, pointless. Even if you go and overclock your GPU, you could do that with, what do you call it, MSI Afterburner. So if your video card's unlocked, you can go with MSI Afterburner, take out AMD Adrenalin, which runs in the background with Mr. Wattman, and that's something you don't need. And that's what's been... Now, when I had the 6500 XT, and I purchased, I got that for a gift. I took it back and make sure that the person that got me the gift, I made sure they got the money back. Okay, they told me to take the money and go buy something else. I did. So the point is this: when I tested the 6500 XT, I know that's the worst case scenario, but the point is this: it kept falling flat on his face. Okay, the AMD Adrenalin software was not really working with it very well, so I just used drivers only, pulled out the AMD Adrenalin software, boom. The card was okay running on, running the way I had it, but the thing is this: anytime I play the one game I usually play, you all know this is Second Life game. What happened is that, I noticed that it was dipping down too far than I've liked, because my integrated graphics was doing 20 times better than the 6500 XT on Second Life. And I was like shocked. My jaw hit the ground. Okay. Yes, it does. Both of them did between 200 and 300 FPS. That was with the minimal of 5 to 10 avatars on one sim. Okay. But when you have 60 on one sim, that's where the 6500 XT fell flat on its face. I mean, it fell flat on its face. It fell all the way down to, at one time, 5 FPS. Where the integrated graphics held at between 70 and 110. Depending on which way my camera was pointed, it would still stay between 70 and 110. So, I was more impressed with the integrated graphics than I was with the discrete graphics card at that point in time. I know that's not a good analysis for, as far as graphics wise, but the thing is this: everybody was talking about how bad the 6500 XT was. I had to test it myself to see how bad it was, and it was pretty bad. The 6500 XT was pretty bad. Pretty shocking when it only has a 64-bit bus. It only has 4 gigs of VRAM. And its clock speed's only up to like 23. Gaming clock is only like 2300 megahertz. It just, to me, it just didn't make sense. They could have, no, AMD could have did a lot better with that card. If they would have put a 256-bit bus on there and up the TMUs and ROPs and up a little bit of tweaking here and there, that would have been well worth the money for that card. But since they didn't, and that card only had 2 ports on it for video out, I didn't see it being, how can I say this, cost effective. So, but anyway, moving down the road, the known issues, you all know the known issues and what it comes down to, the reliability. You know, if you go to look up AMD software, look up AMD Adrenalin software 23.3.2, get you a good read on this and see if it's compatible with your computer. Now, if you're running Second Life, okay, I want y'all to understand this. If you're running Second Life, okay, and you wonder to yourself, oh, hold on, we're gonna switch the screen. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not gonna cut that out. I'm gonna make y'all understand this. When I do these videos, if I make a mistake, you see it. End of story. If I screw up on, turning something off, then y'all are going to see it. So, yes, I made a boo-boo there. I forgot to turn that source off before I flipped screen, and it's kind of funny. But anyway, let's get down to the analysis part of this. Okay. Understand one thing. Integrated graphics are for some people, but not all. Okay? Some people love them, some people hate them. Okay? When it comes down to the integrated graphics, okay, me, I'm more of a fanboy of integrated graphics, no matter if it's Intel or it's AMD. Can't say NVIDIA, because NVIDIA don't make computer processors. If they did, then they would corner the market. If they made a computer processor with integrated graphics from NVIDIA, they would corner the market. And they know this. But they don't want to step in that realm yet. But they're getting close because their graphics cards are falling flat on their face. Especially the new 4070 non-Ti, the 4060, the 4060 Ti, the 4050, and maybe a 4050 Ti. Price range is still going to be the factor. I'm not going to go by the leaks and everything else, and I'm not going to tell you that the price is going to be this and then the price is that. I'm not going to make myself look like an ass. Okay? I'm going to tell you this, the price range is going to range from $700 to $500. Okay? I'm going to give you a price range on those 4079 Ti's, the 4060 Ti, 4060, 4050 Ti, and the 4050, if they do those in any kind of chain in order. Okay, I'm going to give you a price range between $750, did I say $699? I meant $750 and down to $599. Because I'm sure they're not going to sell a 4050 for over $700. I'm sure they're not going to be doing that. We'll be lucky if it even sits at $599. Okay, we'll be even more lucky if it sits at $499. We'll be seriously lucky if it ever sits at $199. I think by the time they get down to the $199 cards, that they're only going to have, and get this, they're only going to have 472 cores on it. 472 cores. That's about the same amount of cores that I have on integrated graphics. But do remind you that the 4050 for NVIDIA, the 4050 and the 4060, they're using on laptops as well. They're using the same graphics on laptops, but the ones on laptops are not as strong as your desktops. Your desktops have more room to breathe as far as power and everything else, but laptops don't have that kind of room to breathe. They still haven't perfected how laptops are supposed to roll. They're getting there, but they're not there yet, so if you're thinking about getting a laptop, I tried the laptop scene. I went through 4 laptops. Four laptops. And guess what happened? They couldn't handle what the desktop can do. So just keep that in mind. And plus, the when you buy a laptop, the switching of parts, you don't have that availability where you can switch multiple parts. On some you do, but most of your name brands you don't. Because if they got the processor built onto the PCB for the laptop, you're screwed. If they have everything built onto the laptop, you're screwed. Especially if they got the graphics card built onto the laptop, you're screwed. So it's pointless. Where in desktops, you can remove the graphics card. If it's integrated graphics, you can't remove that, but you can. See, I said you can't, but you can. By the simple fact of the processor. Change your processor. Like, I got the 5600G. I can go up to the 5700G. Okay? Anything with the G factor in it, in the 5000 series, or a little bit higher in DDR4, yes, I can use in this system. But as far as the 4600G or whatever that's below the 5000 series, no. For the simple fact that the BIOS, see, the stupid fact is that the BIOS was locked out. Once you upgraded for the 5000 series on the B450 motherboard, they actually locked you out from 2nd gen and 1st gen. 2nd Zen and 1st Zen series. So if you have something that you have in the 2nd Zen series, you're not going to be able to use it because it's in the 3rd Zen series, the 5000 series. So I'm locked out from all them lower ones unless I get a new motherboard that does the 1st or the 2nd. Mine does the 3rd Zen. Okay. Now, if I go up to DDR5, then that's the 4th Zen. And so on. But right now, I'm dealing with DDR4. Going through it myself. Just taking one item at a time. Beating the piss out of it until it screams. And if it screams, then I know it's working. So I'm running mine right to hell and back. This computer that I am on right now, making this video, I'm making sure it will run. Okay? And I'll tell you what, I think we're now coming into the 8th month. 8th month of me doing YouTube videos and everything else on this PC with integrated graphics. I know my videos are a little bit kind of snowy a little bit, but that's the camera. Okay, understand this. See this mic? Oh. See this microphone here? This one right here? This is a 10-year-old microphone. 10-year-old microphone. Yeah, a little scratchy on the bass, but the thing is this, it works. So, understand that. 10-year-old mic, a camera that does 1080p. You know, I'm doing this all in 1080p. Now, when I get 1440p monitor, then I'll upgrade everything to 1440p. When I get a 4K monitor, then I'll upgrade everything to 4K. But you know what? I go by my finances and what I can afford to bring to the channel. And I do apologize, I'm not bringing it fast enough for everybody. But I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And I'm trying to get there. But you can help me get there faster if you subscribe. We need those 1,000 subscribers, and we need that 4,000 watch hours in order to monetize. Once we get monetized, then we can work on the fact of getting a little store open to where, we can do some sales, and this way it helps promote the channel, and stuff like that. And then later on down the road, if you all think that I should do this, then we'll go to the factor of going to Patreon. So we're going to work up to that point. But we do have Twitter. I know the account's not, a paid monthly account. I do understand that. But the thing is this, right now, if you were in my shoes and you had like a set balance of $20 a month to work with, okay, you would see what I have to go through if you went through it yourself. And if you're going through it yourself, God bless you. Okay? God bless you on that. But anyway, back to the fact of Amd and Adrenalin software. Okay, this is the thing. I had to close the screen that's above me. If you see why I'm looking up, look at my glasses. Let me see where I'm looking up at. See my glasses? See the reflection in my glasses? That's the screen that's above my head. That's the only place I can find that I can put the screen. Okay. So I have the screen here. Oh, I have my main screen here. But above that, I have another screen. Okay. I don't have one on the side yet. I'm working on that, but the camera is there. I don't have one on the other side, the other side over here, because my computer's there. The B450 computer, my cheapy computer, my $400 and some computer with 6 fans. And don't forget, I love this remote. I'll tell you what, I love this remote. And if y'all are wondering, yes, I'm going to tell you, the driver software of this computer is up to date and up to today's venue of 23.3.2. And that's what I'm running on right now, is 23.3.2. Just to let you know that. Okay. See, now watch my glasses again. So you can see I have 2 computer screens. See that little white in the background, the reflection on my glasses? Okay? Watch. That's the one in front of me. That's the screen in front of me. Now you all seen that, that I'm running 2 monitors. Now you all see that. And there's one thing else I want to touch on. About the fact of Linus Tech Tips getting hacked. I watched the video on that. My heart goes out to you, man. I hope you get everything all squared away with YouTube on that. Guys, when you're making YouTube videos, okay, I'm going to state this. Make sure you screen your emails. I mean, if you're not familiar with a certain email, question it. And if you're not sure what's going on with the email, transfer it to a sandbox. Now, Microsoft does make a sandbox that you can pull stuff to. Open it up in the sandbox. If you open it up on a virtual PC to where it doesn't connect to your regular PC, and you keep it contained in a box, I'm sure you won't have a problem, but that's one way. But I think they got another way of getting in. I think that's one way they figure they can get in, is through that way, to hack into you. But if you're not familiar with the email, delete it. Don't open it, just delete it. Look and see what name it has. Make sure you have it to where you can see somebody's IP address. When they send you the mail, they should have a little box that says IP, not IP. It shows their email address. If you see something funky with it, then you know it's not legit. Okay? So, don't open it. If you don't know it, just throw it in the trash and clear out your trash bin and be done. This way you don't have to worry about being hacked. Now, there are some people in this world that, if they got it out for you, they got it out for you. If they don't, they don't. I'm just an old man. Ain't nobody got it out for me. I'm just here doing a YouTube video, making, little videos about, computers and stuff like that. I ain't causing no trouble with nobody. I got no beef with nobody. Just to let you know that. But, just for sale. Watch your back. You can wind up losing all your videos, all in one shot. So, if you don't know who's on an email, then put it in the trash or put it as spam. You put it as spam, it goes into the spam folder. It's on a permanent basis. Whatever comes from that email address goes into the spam. Simple said and put. Me, if I don't know who's who or what's what, and it goes right into my spammed email, or it goes in the trash. If it's not one of the subscribers, and unless it's business, advertisements and stuff like that, they all go in the trash. I don't hold on to that. I get rid of it. I don't play around with the trash. If they're trying to sell me something down the road, then, that's their business. But the thing is this, I ain't buying, because I don't know how legit these emails are coming from these companies. Nobody's throwing sponsorship at me. Nobody's doing nothing. I'm on my own. Except for the subscribers that subscribe to the channel, and y'all been great, and I do appreciate it. We're over 110 subscribers, and we're almost close to 1,000 watch hours. Guys, keep it going. We're going to keep trying to make these videos, and understand this too, if I'm not making a video on that day, then that means I am not at home. That means I am out for the day. So I'm not going to be making a video that day. If I don't have one posted by at least 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time, then it's not going to work. I'm not going to have one posted for that day, because I got stuff going on in real life. Just to let you know, to give you a little bit of a scheduling, we're going to work on it. Sooner or later, we're going to have a set schedule. As soon as I get everything all under control here, we're going to have a big old set schedule, and we're going to go back at it 7 days a week. Maybe 2 videos a day. Maybe. We'll work on it. Depends on how good the news is. We'll work on it. But you can work on by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe. We still need the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here. It's going to be a 50-minute video. So I just want to tell everybody happy Friday, and make sure y'all stick around. I'm going to have more videos to come. So don't go anywhere. Don't touch your dial. This is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next video.